Hey, welcome back to the show, guys. Today I want to check out the Master Effects EQ from hell, and this thing is an absolute badass. I plugged it in the other day and just dialed in tones so easily that I don't want to go too far into it. I just thought it'd be a really cool video just to explore the tones with you live, and we'll just go from there. It's really cool. I'm running through the Marshall DSL-20. The standard amp as always. These are my settings. It's just a baseline. It's not about the amp today. It's just about this EQ and how much it can just sculpt the effects lip and front end of the amp, and we'll just test out what we can. So just before we get into it, really quickly, just what's going on with the signal and the gear and everything. I'm going to use the Boss SD1 overdrive just in the front end. I like the way it tightens up the Marshall, so that's got nothing to do with the EQ. And I'm going to use a Boss NS2 noise gate that I run both through the effects loop and the front end, and it just quietens everything down and any of that unwanted hum that I tend to get in this room. The guitar I'm using today, I'm just going to use my Jackson KVX. It's just got Seymour Duncan Thrash Factor pickups in it. I just like this guitar. It's just really nice to play in. And to capture the recording, I'm going through the 2 notes Torpedo Captor X there, and that's just going straight through to my audio interface and into Logic Pro, where it's just simulating the speaker and microphone setup. So I've got nothing actually sounding in the room today, so I'm not deafening the bird. So a little bit about the Master Effects EQ from hell. It's based around Dimebag's old PQ3 that he had in his rig. There was a parametric EQ stomp that he had somewhere in his rig. He always said what pedals and gear he used, but he never actually said where he put them in his chain, how he used them, and how he had them set. So how this is different to the original PQ3, I really don't know. This is just built like a tank. It's hand soldered. It's handmade entirely. The knobs and everything feel really nice on it. It's got a volume knob here, which I just find I match the original volume. So I find the difference with a parametric to a slider EQ is the parametric can really hone in certain frequencies that you can't get with a slider EQ. You can't just get that aggression or bite or that air in the tone. That's really I think it's really important when you're trying to capture tones to a T. For me it is anyway. So look, let's just try and dial in some tones. I'm only going to use this, and we're going to try and get an Injustice for All style tone with the gear I've got. Okay, we're all set. Let's go. SD1 noise gate. This is my basic tone. That's pretty cool. Like, all I've done is just the standard boost the bass, cut the mids, add the treble, but Justice for All doesn't really have too much treble. It's just got like a bit of high end attack, I suppose. But the trick with this one, it's actually in that, it's in the frequency bandwidth in the mid section. I'll move that around and you'll just see how dramatically it loses the injustice for all sort of spirit to the tone. Usually when I dial in these sorts of EQs, what I do to work out how the frequency likes to sit nice, I turn the gains right up. Like if I turn the gain right up on this, it makes this band stand right out amongst the rest, and you can really hear the frequencies on their own. And then once you find the frequency that really suits the song, I then just wind back the gain knob until you get the right amount of gain, and you're left with that cool tone. That's awesome. That's just, I don't know, let's do a Megadeth. Let's just think of a Megadeth tone. Wind a bit of the bass. Add some mids. Now this is the important part again. It's getting that mid tone of the Megadeth albums just right. And when you think about how they actually sit in a mix. That treble's a bit shrill. Something too when I dial these tones, and I usually go back and forth and I'm listening to the album, playing along with a little bit of it, you know, playing the riffs. So it's a little bit harder just off the cuff and memory going by how you think the tone should be, but you can see it's extremely usable how to dial this tone just using these few knobs. You can see exactly why I wanted to share this with you guys. It's awesome. Let's just try maybe Pantera or something. The way that Dime used the parametric EQ to make his Pantera sound, he really boosted mids and chose the right sort of the right frequency that honed in to get that sound just right. But for this, we're going to try and just do it all with this, just scoop it out and try and still hone into that same frequency. So you're only using the one EQ, you don't have to use a whole lot. That is cool. That's actually pretty good. I'm going to do a few things now, and I just want to try and get that tone a little bit closer in a different way. Dime, I know, used the parametric EQ to boost mids. He wasn't actually sucking them out with that, I don't think. But we'll just try a few things. I'm going to kick on the MXR 10 band where the mids are scooped out in the 1K region, and I'm going to get rid of the Boss Super Overdrive and turn on the MXR 6, just boosting those mids in the front end just to give that aggression. So if we do that and that, I'll turn off the EQ. This is the tone we get. And now we'll turn on the EQ from hell and just dial that in, and you'll just see that really transforms the tone to really suit it now. That's so awesome. That I didn't even try. Dead set. I haven't sat here and just like memorized where the dials need to be. It's not hard. Really, you can see why I'm so excited about this. It's just a really cool pedal and super easy to use and really versatile. But at the moment, like you've heard it through the effects loop, let's go through the front end. I've not even tried it through the front yet. And I want to try and simulate that Exodus Gary Holt tone just by boosting those mids right. So let's just see how we go. I'll just wire it in. Hold on. So there you have it, guys. That's the Master Effects EQ from hell, and this thing really is a beast, and it's so versatile. It's not a one-trick pony by no means. It's going to be the staple and core of my tone on the pedal board for capturing tones from now on. And look, I just can't wait to see how it'll go, especially through the Mesmark 5 in the 2C Plus mode, just doing injustice for all. That's the staple tone. If you can get an EQ that can just dial that in, well, you've got an awesome EQ. So I'll do that one next. And anyway, thanks again for tuning in. This is awesome. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.